So I find a very common confusion among the students who are applying for Erasmus or they are about to apply for Erasmus Mundus this year. They ask me this question that whether we should opt for IELTS or should we go with TOEFL or PTE or Duolingo, or just getting the language proficiency test from the university is going to be enough for me, because these are all very valid options depending on your specific program, because all of these options are relevant and acceptable for the specific program. So if the program is accepting IELTS, you can go with IELTS, but generally IELTS and TOEFL, because they are the two most popular language proficiency tests, most programs would ask you for either an IELTS or a TOEFL. But I will show you in the video how you can actually make sure that what your program is asking you for. So if you don't have IELTS, what are the alternatives? So you can go with TOEFL, PTE, Duolingo, and also the language proficiency test. But here is the catch. You should always check the official page of the program that you are applying to, because some programs are very flexible. Like they will say, okay, let's say for example SECLU. So if you go and scroll their website, they will be like, okay, we accept IELTS, we also accept TOEFL, we also accept your English grades from Cambridge. They accept a bunch of things. So if you have any of these, you're good to go. But some programs are really strict. They will be like, okay, you can either submit an IELTS or a TOEFL, or we just need a TOEFL, or we just need an IELTS. So be sure that you check this information before you are applying, so that you know which test you should prepare for and register for. So don't just blindly go with, okay, I'll go with IELTS, but I don't know if my program is asking for IELTS or TOEFL. So the next thing that I just want to touch very briefly is your certificate of English proficiency. So what is this? So this is just a letter that university gives you, which states that your entire degree was in English. English was the medium of instruction during your entire studies, and it is generally signed by your head of department or registrar, whatever university you are in. You can always check this info out. But the main thing is you need to mention that, okay, this English was your language of instruction, medium of instruction during the entire tenure of your degree. And if your program requires this certificate, if they are accepting this certificate, but also IELTS and TOEFL and other things, but also the language proficiency certificate, I think you can just go with this certificate. That's all you need and you're good to go. But disclaimer, do not take my word for it. You should always cross-check with your program whether they will accept this certificate over any other language proficiency certificate or not. Because language proficiency certificates like IELTS, TOEFL and PTE and Duolingo, they will give you an edge maybe when there is a high competition and there are maybe two students who are almost at the same level competing for the scholarship, and the scholarship committee has to make a decision, and your GPA is the same and your motivation letters are good and everything is really good, and this language letter, this proficiency certificate versus a professional language certificate like an IELTS or TOEFL could make a difference. I have heard this as well from people. So it just depends in your specific scenario. I think personally I went with IELTS because I knew it's going to allow me more flexibility, because I can also apply for other programs. I can apply for more programs other than just the program that I was applying for at that particular time. I just went with IELTS because I checked, and a lot of programs that I was interested in were accepting IELTS and also a bunch of other tests. But when I looked around, I realized that, okay, if I give IELTS, I have a chance to stand out in a lot of programs. I can recommend you some resources that I also use for my IELTS preparation. So I highly recommend checking out IELTS Advantage and E2 IELTS on YouTube. They both have free high quality lessons that literally break down every single section of the test. So if you need any kind of help regarding IELTS, I think these should be your go-to resources, and for me as well. For full-length mock exams and real practice on-site, I personally recommend IELTSonlinetests.com because it's free, it's timed, and it gives you a real feel of what to expect. And honestly, you don't need to spend money on coaching centers and anything. What you really need is just be consistent, practice, and get honest feedback, even if it is from a friend. So I think take it one step at a time, and you have absolutely got this. Very quick advice for the certificate of language proficiency from your university would be, when you email them or when you ask them about the certificate, make sure that it's once again on a university letterhead, signed, stamped, so that the credibility is there. So in the end, I would just like to say that I have seen students and also my peers last year as well delaying their application just because of IELTS or TOEFL or any other language certificate. Please don't do that. Do not give up on your Erasmus stream just because of one document. I think you should reach out to the program. First of all, every information is available on the program's website. So I emphasize this in almost every single video that I am creating, that please go to the program's website. You have everything there. You don't need to go anywhere else. Just go to the program's website and you will find everything about language test, about recommendation letters or whatever you need. And let's say, which I doubt, but suppose there is unclear information or there is no information about language certificates, you can simply reach out to the program and they will get back to you. So instead of just sitting and assuming and worrying that, oh, I don't know what to do, instead of stressing, use that energy positively and use that energy to ask people, ask the program, get clarity. The sooner you get clarity, then you are able to move for other steps, because you have a lot of steps that you need to take care of. So I hope this video has given you some kind of idea regarding the language proficiency certificates. And if you liked this video and if you like my content in general, please give it a like, subscribe to the channel if you found a value through me, and I'll see you guys in the next video.